Okay, here's something that's changed my life. Going on walks. Not just because of what it does for me physically, but also emotionally, mentally, for my writing, for my relationships, for processing what I'm going through in life, and also just like the cool stuff that you can see when you go on a walk. My therapist was the first one to introduce the idea of bilateral movement, engaging in activities that use both sides of your body, your left and your right. When you do these activities, it causes a better bridge and connection between the left and right hemispheres of your brain, which is important for processing difficult emotions and dealing with stress. And walking is one of the simplest bilateral movements. I'm using my left foot, my right foot, you know how it goes. Okay, here comes a real big oversimplification. What if you thought about it like one side of your brain is better at feeling things and one side of your brain is better at organizing things? Oversimplification, I know, but what if you thought of it that way? One side, all of the feeling, it's so good at that. And one side, the putting things away and finding a spot for all of these feelings, it is so good at that. And you need both of them. It would be terrible if you had feelings that you never actually let yourself feel, but you just like put it away before you ever had the chance. And it would also be terrible if you had feelings that you only felt and you always felt them and they never actually got to be put away and organized and found in an actual spot that fits it. You're just always feeling it. You need both. And any sort of bilateral movement helps create that connection a little bit stronger between both sides of the brain. And so it can help you actually, like I feel like for me, it's like enough of a distraction to where I can actually think about the thing that I feel like is too daunting to think about. If there's something that feels really big to process, sometimes going on a walk helps. When I'm writing something or I'm working on a stand-up bit or a story that I'm gonna tell on stage, I can't just like sit at my desk and practice it. I can't just sit down and write it. I have to go on long walks, and as I'm walking, I'm thinking about it, I'm practicing it, I'm going over it. And it's like the walking is just enough to keep me engaged that like I don't go, oh, this is terrible, this is terrible, this is terrible, this is the worst, you're doing a terrible job, you're doing a terrible job. But sometimes when I stay seated, that's all I got. Or even in relationships, there have been times where difficult conversations have been so much easier to have when we are both walking. And I've like felt the difference where like we start talking about something and we're sitting on the couch and it's like, can we go on a walk? Can we go on a walk? And as we are walking, I am second guessing myself so much less. I am getting less overwhelmed, and it becomes like a little bit easier for me to think about things and for me to talk about them. It's great to walk in a place that you only have experienced through driving. There's so much more that you see. Look at this cannon in a cemetery. I never noticed that before. And don't worry, I checked. It was for the north, so I don't have to feel weird showing it. Look at how wobbly this sidewalk is. It does not need to be this curvy. Someone made a mistake. I understand adding a little bit of wobble to give it some whimsy, but this is too much. I saw this on a walk once. This is cool. It's like climbing a tree like you're climbing a rock. I saw this on a walk once. Doesn't this just feel so mysterious? What Christmas winter wonder is in this world? I would have never noticed this if I was driving by. And it's crazy to look back and see that like, even before I knew how beneficial it was, I have been committed to walking a ton. And I can see now, you know, that it was helping me through hard times when like there were times where I was just walking because I had nothing else to do. My first semester of college, I had no friends. I had one friend. A girl that I knew who got to that school the year before I did. And so like I knew one person, but I was too scared to try to make friends with anybody else. So I spent a lot of time by myself and not in my room because I had a roommate that I didn't know. And I was too scared of trying to make friends with him. And so anytime he'd be in the room, I would like just leave. And the college campus was surrounded by these neighborhoods. And so I would just go on these long walks for hours, just walking and thinking and talking to myself about what the day was like, what was coming up, what I was worried about, excited about, frustrated by, all of my feelings of being lonely. And at the time I was just like, oh, this is just something I'm doing to kill time because I have nothing else to do. It's kind of sad. I wish I had something else to do. But now looking back, that's probably one of the best things I could have done during that difficult transition time. I needed all that time walking to process and think about things. I'm glad that I did that.